Hi, and welcome to Designing with Casual Elegance. I am your host, Susan Sage, and if this is your first time watching, thank you for joining us, and if you're returning, thank you. Anyway, we're going to work on a little more Christmas today. Some finishing touches and hopefully a couple crafts that are very easy. So I'm going to talk about the wreath that I have up here. This charger plate that's in the center, we actually did last summer. I think it was July's show, and I did that charger. And then I also did the tartan plaid. So, you could do many different things, but I thought it would look great in the center of the wreath. So there's actually two wreaths here. I have this smaller wreath inside a large wreath. Otherwise, it would look like that plate is just floating. And I wanted it nice and full so that it would balance and be the right scale for the mantle. So we are going to finish doing a little decorating over here. Got a couple candlesticks. And you can never have enough greenery at Christmas. Actually, put the smaller one there, larger one there. And of course, our candles. And I love these candles. They do have timers, but I like the touch of the snow. Okay. And of course, it is Christmas. You have to have Father Christmas or Santa Claus. These that do not have faces, I call Father Christmas. And these were handmade for us years ago by a friend. And I absolutely love them. It's probably almost 40 years ago. They each have a little stand. Hopefully this guy will stay in place. And then I did put a couple lanterns down in the fireplace. I could have brought a copper pot with some birch logs, but I wanted to do something a little different. And I like to use tulle, and this time I used fairy lights. The last time I showed this, I did have big outdoor candles because that is actually where I use these lanterns. So now we're going to put a nice cozy throw. And of course, you have to add a pillow, and again, this I've had for years and years and years. I think I got it at Pier 1, I don't even know how long ago. But I just love that it's a little tree, nice little accent. And then, let's have a couple stockings. Oh, and you've got to have a Christmas treasures book, which has The Night Before Christmas and then many other stories in here. And again, something that I found, a while ago. So most of what I'm using today, I did not go out and purchase new. A lot of it I already had. So I'm just trying to reinvent some of the things that are stored. No, we can't leave our table blank. I love this little picture. We can, there we go. Lights up. I don't know, you may not be able to see that. And Christmas, you have to have Christmas cookies. And this really is a cookie cookbook. best spritz cookies I've ever made came from a recipe in this little book. And I'm not a big cookie eater, but I do love spritz, and I like sugar cookies. So we'll just leave that right down there. And the tartan plaid. This year, Ralph Lauren is all over the place. I mean, every time you put something on YouTube or whatever, it's Ralph Lauren, Ralph Lauren. Been around for a long time, and it's mainly just plaids. So as my tribute to that, I could change out the silver charger with the tartan plaid. Okay, and then we have our buffet. So again, I'm going to do some candles. But this time, I'm going to add some cranberries. I love when you can get them for 97 cents a bag. We'll spread them around a little bit. Oh, but I should have turned my candles on first. Anyway, you get the idea. And I do have sconces. I mean, my wall is kind of blank. The other thing, I have to talk about this Thankful. This actually came from a table runner. You know, you can buy those rolls of table runner and cut off. Well, I loved the Thankful, so I wanted to make it into a piece of artwork. So what I did, measured it out, cut it, and I actually glued it to a piece of cardboard. I think it's just poster board. Then I found a sample of wallpaper that was the right size, and for some reason, the perfect color. So I got it all put together. It's not in there permanently. I just taped it, and this is the same frame I've been showing all season, and different ways to use a frame. And then one of my other favorite things to do is to add greenery on the corner of a picture. And then I also do that at my front door. We've actually got a couple of them. And so what I do is take just a nice big pick and bend it so you've got a corner. And there you go. Could go either way. Got a nice little, a lot of times I will put a bow in here like you see up on our Thankful. And there you go. You can use it anywhere, and you don't have to buy a big long garland. You know, this is just a simple, great way to add evergreen without going crazy and spending a fortune. So, and then I do have sconces to put up to fill our wall a little bit. Oops, our candle's a little crooked. Might be the sconce. Okay, and hopefully I got these even when I put the nails up. Get that centered in there. And there you go. And here again, if you wanted to add Epsom salts, let's say if you had red candles or a colored candle, Epsom salts are a great way to create the look of snow, whether it's in candle sconces or a village, a lot of different ways that it can be used. And again, inexpensive, easy, cleans up easy. A lot of times, if you're using the new fallen snow or the different snows that you can get that are plastic flakes, best way to make them work without sticking all over the place to everything you have is to put them in a brown bag, spray it with Static Guard, close it up and shake it real good. Removes the static from that snow so you can use it wherever. And for your cleanup, same thing. Spray it before you start sweeping it away. You want to just get all that static out so it doesn't stick on all your furniture and you're dealing with it for the next 6 months. Same thing with glitter. If you have a lot of glitter in your ornaments or your decor, take some Static Guard, spray it, and the glitter will come right up. You can use a lint roller or a vacuum. So let's continue over here. We have beautiful serving piece. Some of the silver is nicely polished and some is not. You know, I have one piece here that is tarnished, but I love it. I've decided, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, little craft things are a way to add, just a nice fragrance to your decor. Take oranges and cloves, and you've probably seen this a million times. What I like to do is take a fork and make the holes, and then put your little cloves in. We probably want some greenery to go with that. Then I have one here. I've already poked the holes. We will just dump out your cloves and stick them in. These oranges were a little tough, but they sure taste good. And then you could always use these in a potpourri. Add some other cranberries and nice, I like rosemary, different herbs, and put it in a simmer pot. And you will fill the house with wonderful seasonal fragrances. Okay, so there we have it, very simple. Really doesn't take that long. And adds a little color. And I still have cloves left to cook with. Let's make that big ham for Christmas. That's a joke, since Terry doesn't eat ham. Okay, we have our bookcase, and it still needs a little bit more evergreen, and my outdoor theme this year is snowflakes. I am not a go-to Hobby Lobby person all the time. If I need some things that they have, I will go in there. But this year, they have fabulous snowflakes. Some glittered, some not. And I will have pictures next week on the culinary journey of the outside, what we did. We suspended these snowflakes. So I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do with snowflakes after we take a little break.
Experience the Macadoodle's difference. Shop leisurely in our friendly and spacious store 7 days a week. Browse our wine cellar. We offer the top labels and hot new wines. Wide aisles, hardwood floors, and easy-to-find, well-lit displays make shopping enjoyable. Customers are our #1 priority. If you can't find something, our courteous staff will assist you and we'll even help you to your car with your purchase. World-class customer service. Largest and best selection in the area. Low prices. Experience the Macadoodle's difference today.
Hi, and welcome back. During the break, one of the people here in our studio audience was asking about this table runner. And they have carried them. I got it from Avenue Design, who is one of our sponsors. It comes on a big paper roll. They have plaid, they have check, different colors. I even have a really wide one that is a dark green background with deer on it that I'd like to use as wallpaper. So anyway, you can get it at Avenue Design and you just unroll it. And it's nice because you don't have to wash it, you just put it in the trash when you're done. And you're still protecting your table. So anyway, that's a story on the Thankful Table Runner. So I was changing out here. As you noticed, I now have a snowflake in the middle of the wreath. And we got these in several different sizes. I've got some small ones. So I just wanted to do another very simple, inexpensive, just something different in a wreath. So these big snowflakes are on sale at Hobby Lobby for half off. And this is one time I did just kind of splurge and went and got a lot of snowflakes and suspended them from our deck as you're going to the front door. So we're going to go ahead and, since we have the white, we're going to do the white stockings. And I have 2 sets of stockings. These are for upstairs in our formal living area, and the other little ones, the little needlepoint, are for downstairs in the casual area, Terry's place. Okay, and then I don't have a white throw, but you could take away the red. So now we've switched over to just kind of white. I did not replace that bow, we'll just leave the red. This is a separate room anyway. And I was talking about putting cranberries in with the candles. Something else you can do are these itty bitty acorns. I have done that in some sconces I have at home that are on the wall, and you always want to light your candles or put the timer on before you put these in, which I forgot to light those before I did that. So anyway, again, just different ideas to spruce up your candle holders. All right, and we talked about our silver service. We still have to finish up making this look a little more Christmassy. So I'm just going to add some greenery. Get this. Just a little touch. Put that up. I'm going to add some acorns. All about the season. There we go. And I'm going to add our snowflakes, a couple snowflakes. All right, so that's good. I think, we need one more over here. Put it with the snowflake. There we go. Now I have another little craft project that I came up with. I know you're seeing all of these different charger plates. You'll have the plain green, you've got the silver, there are gold, platinum color, and there are ceramic or plastic or whatever most of these are made of. I actually do have some that are metal. So what I did, I wanted chargers to be really different and casual. So I took the charger and I took some burlap. So I ironed the burlap to flatten it as best I could. I turned the charger upside down on the burlap, outlined it, and cut it out. Then, to actually attach it, use starch. Mod Podge will not work for this project. It is too thick. Take your foam brush, and you're just gonna slather the starch all over. And it takes a good amount because this burlap is really thick. I mean, this is real burlap. It's not the lightweight. And this is a little time-consuming because once you put the burlap down, you really have to saturate. You know, then you're going to go back over, and you can't really just spread it. You kind of have to dab it. So you're going to do the whole thing. Takes a while to dry, but you just keep working at it. Then when it's completely dry, turn it over and trim it down to the size of the charger. So that is how I made these chargers. I know a lot of people are doing wood and all different kinds of things. They've done grass, they've done leaves. I want to do my own original, so I did burlap. I'm going to set this aside, and we'll talk about our table. And I've got a couple different looks for the table. And again, taper battery-operated candles. I've got two different kinds here. This, I did have to put a rubber band on so it'll stay in place. And then I have itty-bitty candle rings. Just a little color, a little evergreen. We'll just stick those on there. This other candle, it's a little bit smaller, and it actually operates by button, but it has this little rubber, I'm going to call it a cup, so that you don't have to put a rubber band or do anything for it to support. It'll just stay in place. So this one, actually, you twist to get it to come on, and these are on timers. I believe they go for 6 hours. So this guy doesn't match. And we've got another one here. When it flashes, you know that the timer is working. Oops. Like I said, they don't stand up very straight. And we'll get this done. So what I am doing here is burlap and silver. Again, wanted to do something a little different. So I actually have two different looks. I have a burlap runner. And they do shed. Now that real piece of burlap that I have does not shed. So for the burlap, I am going to use these cranberry colored chargers. And then I have these plates, dish sets from Eddie Bauer, I think, maybe 30, 35 years ago, and I absolutely love them. They have this wonderful little pine cone in the center. They are stoneware, nice little gold on the outside. And again, we were talking about Ralph Lauren, so I did bring a couple plaid salad plates. It's probably hard to see this, but it's kind of that same cranberry color as the Charger. And little toile bread and butter plates. And I do have the little Santa hat napkins. We'll just stick those in there. Great cocktail napkins. These I would put at the bar. And I'm going to, let's get these stuck in here. It's for your sugar cubes. And it does have little scooper. This was my mother-in-law's, so I love this piece of silver. I like all of them. And then again, you could just add a few sprays of greenery. So that is one look, and then you could do the Charger plate, the burlap with the green, and for this, I would go a little different. I have these beautiful, these are actual French plates, salad plates, with berries and just a little hint of blue. Put all that together, and I think the gold and this little berry plate definitely class up my little burlap Charger. So we've got that, and then I want to show you a couple of new napkin folds that I learned. Now, you know I love doing napkins. We'll move this out of the way, make some space. Okay, very simple. This is how one will end up, and you're just going to put your knife, your fork, and your spoon inside. So to do that, take your napkin, you're going to fold it into a square, and then you're going to fold down, let's see, right, that one stays, inside each one, and then fold it back on each side. Always harder to do here than it is at home. So there you go. The other one I have is a Christmas tree, and hopefully I have enough time to show how to do that. Very simple. Again, you'd fold it the same way. And then this time you're going to come down, and each one you're going to shorten up a little bit. Then you're going to fold back each side to get the shape of your tree. And then you just tuck these in. And I probably did this upside down. But anyway, you get the idea. I definitely goofed up that one. But here you can see. you want the folded side down, and then each one, fold it back, and then tuck them in. And there you have it, a little Christmas tree. So one more thing real quickly, hopefully I can do, is chairs. In order to make them a little more festive, I do have these chair covers that I put on my kitchen chairs at home. And part of it is because they're cream color. They do have leather seats. So a workroom up in Kansas City actually made these for me. So it has a little pleat in the back. It's just plain on the front, little pleat in the back. These chairs are too big for me to actually demonstrate. So anyway, these are just some fun ideas, pretty simple, that you should try yourself. So hopefully you've enjoyed this show. And when we come back in January, we'll be all new and probably talk about 2026 forecast. So thank you, and we'll see you next week on the Culinary Journey. Bye.